Hi, it's Tuesday, August the 11th, 2026. I'm here in my dooryard in Thorndike, Maine, and I'm going to try to keep this short, but in brief. I'm making another one of the series about the Maine accent. What propelled me to do this is because out-of-staters and Republicans have been harping on Troy Jackson, who is the Democratic Party nominee for the U.S. Senate seat, now held by Susan Collins, who betrayed every woman in the state and every other person with votes here. And I'm a big Troy Jackson supporter. But one of the things here is, I said before in a Facebook post that I couldn't find my old book on the Maine accent, and I did find it, and here's a copy of the cover. I got this one for like $8. It was last republished in 2014. But the thing here is, first and foremost, out-of-staters listen to Troy Jackson talk, and they think there have been comments that said he's like off of Green Acres or hee-haw or something. And then what totally kills me is that there are people in Maine of two categories that also make fun of him because of that. And one category is people who have more education levels and who have learned how to code switch. A lot of people grew up speaking like a Mainer, but they go off to college and they can switch into the version of English used by the CBS Evening News or whatever. And that's one thing. But then there's a lot of the people in the Democratic Party are actually from the coast, and they're Maine transplants. So they're from away. It's possible that a bunch of them have never actually talked to a Mainer. Well, let me tell you one thing right off quick. Just because a person has a Maine accent, never confuse that with a lack of intelligence or perspicacity or whatever, because it's completely independent of those things. And I actually think in Troy's case, the Maine accent is a tremendous asset and all that. So now here's the thing about this book is, I wanted to spend time selling you on this book. Most of it, it's illustrated and has pictures to go with a lot of the definitions. But, here's a person with a blueberry rake under A. And then it's basically an alphabetized dictionary with examples for each word. I'm going to read to you one. Now, if you really want to have fun learning how to do this, the thing to do is read this aloud under the guidance of somebody who knows what it's supposed to sound like, and you can have an awful lot of fun. I recall doing that when we first got it. One of the key words in Maine is aya, which is Mainer for yes. Aya, and it says, this is the word. Okay, so I'll read to you. It says, and I'm going to read it in the Maine accent. Aya is the truest touchstone of genuine Yankee speech. While its pronunciation may vary through the region, such as ia or aya, a Mainer and a Vermonter using it know that they're cut from the same cloth. But you let some rusticator from Yonkers try to render it, and the result will be as apparent as a beached whale. Listen to the word a few hundred times before you try it. The most common mistake outlanders make is to render it with the same inflection no matter what the circumstances. The word has infinite shades of meaning. To attempt duplication in cold print would be useless. Suffice to say that according to rendition, it can preface an extended observation or abruptly conclude one. It is comforting and it is sarcastic. Listen often to the word in its sundry applications before you attempt it, and then begin very tentatively low-key. Aya. There are 100 ways to pronounce Aya. You can just say Aya, and that's yes, I'll do whatever you want to do, which is like also the same word from which I comes in the Navy parlance. Aye, sir, is really them saying Aya, sir. But then you can use it because you agree. Aya. If someone says something that's obviously stupid, you can say hey, with a sort of tone to it. Some people learn to say it while breathing in. I can't do it breathing in. Hey, I'm going to have to work on that part and that sort of stuff. But that's just one word. I'll give you another one, which is, let's see now, be. An archaic form of is. One of the boys from Barter Island went to the city to sign up for the draft. When asked for his address, he replied, I come from the island. What island? Bad island, for Christ's sakes. What other island be there? And now one of the things is that particular conjunction of the verb is partly because Maine accent is a rhotic accent. If they were to say what other island are there, they would still have to try to drop off the R. And most people from Maine don't do it that way. They don't go around saying, what other islands are there? That's just too hard. So they might say, what are islands be? That kind of stuff. But anyway, I strongly recommend this. And we do have to push back on the people who are doing it. They will lie about Troy Jackson for as long as there's daylight or moonlight, which is like terrible. But anyway, have a great one. Bye.